Hello and welcome to the Important Site series by Shikara Academy. In these live classes, we will be discussing all the important sites that are present in the different states in India. Continuing with our series, till now we have discussed the important sites in Telangana, important sites in Andhra Pradesh, important sites in the state of Tamil Nadu, important sites in the state of Kerala. And in this fifth session, in this fifth class, we will be discussing the important sites in the state of Karnataka. Now, in important site series, we are discussing the important sites or the significant sites from the examination point of view. That includes the tiger reserves, the elephant reserves, the biosphere reserves, the Ramsar wetland sites, the World Heritage sites, the biodiversity heritage sites, the marine protected areas, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation reserves, and community reserves. Okay, so all of these sites or all of these protected areas or important sites might not be all in all the states. So some states might not have any marine protected area, some states might not have any Ramsar wetland site, some states they do not have conservation reserves, some states they do not have the community reserves. Here we will be discussing all the important ones. So the world heritage sites, in world heritage sites we include the both the natural as well as the cultural heritage sites. Now let's start our discussion with the biosphere reserves. Now, first biosphere reserve that we will be discussing is the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. This Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, it spreads across three states, that is Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. Okay. So in Karnataka, we have only one biosphere reserve. That the biosphere reserve itself, it spreads into three states, that is Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka, and it covers the part of the Chamarajanagar and the Mysuru district of Karnataka. It is the first biosphere reserve in India established in 1986. The geographical features of this biosphere reserve include it lies in the Western Ghats range, including the hills of Nilgiri Hills, the Moyar Gorge, and the Bhavani Basin. The altitude, it includes the altitude from 250 meters to 2500 meters. And the highest point is the Toda Beta Peak, which is located in the Western Ghats. The major rivers that flow through the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. So, for any of these important sites, the rivers as well as the important tribal groups or the tribal communities that are living in that particular area becomes very important from the examination point of view. So, the major rivers that are flowing through this Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is the Bhavani River, the Moyar River, the Kabani River, the Paikara River, and the Chaliyar River. Bhavani River is a tributary of the Kaveri River, which ultimately ends up in the Bay of Bengal. The Moyar River is a tributary of the Bhavani River. This Bhavani River ultimately is a tributary of Kaveri River, and Kaveri River falls in the Bay of Bengal. The Kabini is a tributary of Kaveri River. So all these three rivers are the major tributaries of the Kaveri River. The Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve also includes certain important protected areas as well. The protected areas like the Mudumalai, Bandipur, Nagarhole Wildlife and Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuaries, the Silent Valley National Park in Kerala, the Satyamangalam, Mukurti and Aralam reserves. The type of vegetation in the region includes the tropical evergreen kind of vegetation, the semi-evergreen, moist, dry, deciduous vegetation, and it shows the seasonal altitudinal climatic variations support very high diversity. So it is biodiversity rich region. The important flora and fauna includes the flora species. It has around 3000 species of flowering plants with high degree of endemism. More than 1500 species of the plants or the trees are there which are endemic in nature, and the species include the tea, rosewood, shola species, the Culinia, Hopia, Syzygium. The fauna, in fauna, that is the animal and biodiversity, it includes the species such as the tigers, the Asian elephant, gaur, sloth bear, Indian leopard. The endemic ones that is limited to that particular area, found in that particular area, includes the Nilgiri tar, the lion-tailed macaque, the Nilgiri langur, the Malabar civet, and the important bird species include the Malabar grey hornbill and Nilgiri flycatcher. The significance of this Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, it is that it is the first biosphere reserve in India, and it is also a part of the UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserves since 2000. Uh, it is recognized for its exceptional biodiversity and high endemism in flora and fauna. This is a very rich, very high, it has a very rich, so it is a very rich source of biodiversity, and is known for endemic species of both plants as well as animals. And it serves as a genetic link between the multiple protected areas across three states. So we have multiple protected areas along the state of Karnataka, the Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So all in these three states, this entire biosphere reserve is spread, and this provides a genetic link between the populations of the different species that are living in all these three different states. It is a critical elephant as well as tiger habitat and has been protected under both the Project Elephant as well as the Project Tiger, and it is home to many indigenous tribes. This is also very important to note the indigenous groups, the indigenous tribes, that is Todas, Irulas, Kurumbas, Badagas, and Panias. And it plays a role in the climate regulation, the watershed management, ecological connectivity. So these are the ecological services. Ecological services like the climate regulation, the watershed management, and the ecological connectivity. Now, after discussing the Biosphere Reserve, now let's discuss the important national parks that are in the state of Karnataka. First, we have the Anshi National Park. The Anshi National Park, it is situated in the Uttar Kannada district in northern Karnataka, and it lies between the Western Ghats near the border with Goa. And it is part of the Kali Tiger Reserve, which was earlier known as the Anshi Dandeli Tiger Reserve. So this Anshali Dandeli Tiger Reserve is now known as the Kali Tiger Reserve, and this Anshi National Park overlaps a lot of area with the Kali Tiger Reserve. The geographical features include the area of around 340 square kilometer. Okay, Anshi National Park core, it forms part of the Kali Tiger Reserve, which has an area of around 1300 square kilometer. It lies in the Western Ghats, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Western Ghats in India is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the natural category. It is drained by the Kali River and its tributaries. So River, it falls into the Arabian Sea. The mouth of the Kali River is in the Arabian Sea. The terrain is hilly because it is in Western Ghats and forested with the elevations ranging from 200 to 900 meters. Now, the type of vegetation, predominantly tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forests are there. It also includes patches of the moist deciduous forest. The important tree species include the teak, rosewood, eucalyptus, the xylea, and various climbers and shrubs. The flagship species, the fauna species include the animal species include the black panther, the tigers, and the Indian leopards. Others include the sloth bear, the gaur, elephant, sambar, deer, the giant squirrel, and the Malabar civet. And the birds. The bird diversity includes the great Indian hornbill, Trojan, Malabar Trojan, and the paradise flycatcher. The significance being that we have already seen it is a part of the Kali Tiger Reserve and is a crucial protected area in the Western Ghats biodiversity hotspot. Western Ghats is a biodiversity hotspot area. It is recognized for its high endemism and species richness. And this particular Anshi National Park, it acts as a watershed for the Kali River. Kali River, we know, falls in the Arabian Sea, and it contributes to the climate regulation, the biodiversity conservation, and ecotourism. So these are the ecological services that the region provides. Now, the threats to this particular region includes the dams, the mining, and the human settlements. And the conservation strategies include the strict protection, ecotourism regulation, and the habitat connectivity. Now, the second important national park is the Bandipur National Park, which is located in the Chamarajanagar district of Karnataka. It lies on the Mysore-Ooty highway. Ooty is in Tamil Nadu. It forms a part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, as we have seen earlier as well. Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve has this Nagar Hole, this Bandipur National Park, along with the adjacent Mudumalai National Park that is in Tamil Nadu, Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary that is in Kerala, and the Nagar Hole Forest that is also in Karnataka. The approximate area is 874 square kilometer. Is lies in the Western Ghats Nilgiri Hills transition zone and is traversed by rivers such as Kabini, Moyar, and Nugu. Kabini River, we have seen that it flows into Kaveri. The Moyar River is a tributary of Bhavani River. The Bhavani River is a tributary of Kaveri River. Now, looking at the type of vegetation, it has tropical dry deciduous forest is dominant. And the important teak, the flora species include the teak, rosewood, axlewood, Indian kino tree, the sandalwood, and the bamboo species. The flagship species of animals includes the Royal Bengal tiger, that is the Indian tiger, the Indian elephant, leopard, gaur, sambar, spotted deer. The birds includes the peafowl, jungle fowl, hornbills, and eagles. The reptilian species or the species of reptiles include the monitor lizard, the many viper snakes, as well as the different pythons, that is the Indian rock python. The significance that it is was originally a hunting reserve for the Mysore's Maharaja and was declared a national park in 1974. So earlier, this Bandipur National Park was a playground kind of. It was kind of a hunting reserve for the Maharaja or the royal family of the Mysore. And in 1974, it was made a national park. It is one of the first 9 tiger reserves in India under Project Tiger 1973. So when the Project Tiger started in 1973, first we notified only 9 tiger reserves in the country, and this Bandipur National Park was one of such tiger reserve. It is crucial part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, which is a UNESCO recognized site. It is vital for the wildlife corridor connectivity between southern Western Ghat forest, and it is popular for ecotourism. The threats include the forest fires because the area is a relatively dry deciduous, so it is prone to forest fire, poaching, wildlife conflict, and the vehicular traffic on National Highway 766 because this national park lies on the Mysore-Ooty highway. Moving on to the next national park is the Banerghatta National Park. It is situated in the Bengaluru urban, Bengaluru rural, as well as the Ramnagar district in Karnataka. It spreads across 3 different districts. It is part of the Mysore Elephant Reserve and Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats ecological transition zone. So this Banerghatta National Park lies in the transition zone of the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats. The geographical features include the terrain includes the granite hills, the valleys, scrubland, and it contains small seasonal streams and hillocks, that is the Suvarnamukhi Hills. So Suvarnamukhi Hills is found in the Banerghatta National Park. Discussing the type of vegetation it has a tropical dry deciduous and thorn scrub forest because it is at a transition zone between the Eastern Ghats as well as the Western Ghats. It has also the scattered grasslands. The important flora and fauna includes the neem, sandalwood, tamarind, eucalyptus, bamboo, and terminalia species. The mammals include the leopard, sloth bear, Indian elephant, barking deer, as well as wild boar. The important species of birds includes the grey hornbill, the Indian eagle owl, and the paradise flycatcher. The reptiles, python, especially the Indian rock python, the monitor lizards, cobra, and many species of kraits. It was declared a national park in the year 1974 and it houses the Banerghatta Biological Park. That is, in this biological park, we have the zoo, safari, butterfly park, which is separate from the core region of the national park. It functions as a wildlife corridor for elephants moving between the eastern ghats as well as the western ghats. So the population of elephants move between the two mountain ranges, that is eastern ghats and western ghats, and this Banerghatta National Park provides a perfect wildlife corridor for the movement of the elephant population. It is an important important for urban ecological balance near Bengaluru. So it provides, in a way, it acts as the green lungs for the city of Bengaluru. It faces major pressure from the urban expansion because the city of Bangalore is now ever expanding, encroachments and the mining activities. The key focus area includes the man-animal conflict because the urban areas are expanding into the national park territory. Then there are increased instances of the man-animal conflict. Discussing the fourth national park, that is the Kudremukh National Park. It is located in the Chikmagalur, Udupi and Dakshin Kannada districts of Karnataka and is part of the Western Ghats within the Kudremukh range. It is named after Kudremukh, that is a horse-faced peak that is found in this Kudremukh range in the Western Ghats. Kudremukh means the horse-faced. The geographical features include an area of around 600 square kilometer, and it is drained by rivers such as Tunga, Bhadra and Netravati. Tunga Bhadra river, they ultimately join and form the Tunga Bhadra river, and Tungabhadra river is a tributary of the Krishna river, and this Netravati river directly falls into the Arabian Sea. The Tungabhadra river, they merge to form the Tungabhadra river, Tunga plus Bhadra, Tungabhadra river. The Tungabhadra river merges with is a tributary of the Krishna river. Krishna river ultimately flows into the Bay of Bengal. The elevation ranges from 100 to over 1800 meters, and the notable peak includes the Kudremukh peak, which is one of the highest peak in the state of Karnataka. Now, the type of vegetation here includes the tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest because it lies on the western side of the Western Ghats, the coastal side of Western Ghats. It has a high rainfall region. The important flora and fauna species include, so it is rich in endemic and rare species, and extensive grassy meadows is spread with the Shola forest. Shola forest are the montane forests, that is, they are found in the mountainous regions. The mammal species includes the lion-tailed macaque, which is endangered, tigers, leopards, gaur, wild dogs, sloth bear, Malabar giant squirrel. The bird species include the Malabar Trojan, the great pied hornbill, and the imperial pigeon. And it has a very high endemism for the reptilian species and for the amphibian species as well. Now, it was declared a national park in the year 1987 and is part of the Western Ghats UNESCO World Heritage Site, Western Ghats Eco-Sensitive Zone. So it lies in the Western Ghats, and Western Ghats we know is a natural UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it is known for the high biodiversity and endemism. It is source for three important rivers which are crucial for the water security in the state of Karnataka. The former iron ore mining activities in the region were stopped due to the environmental concerns. And it is an important site for ecotourism. This Kudremukh region, the Kudremukh Hill, is important for the ecotourism, for research and conservation. Now discussing the next national park, that is the Nagarhole National Park. It is located in the Mysore and Kodagu districts in the state of Karnataka, and it is adjacent to the Bandipur National Park. And if it is adjacent to the Bandipur National Park, then we can infer that it should be a part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. So it is a part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, borders the Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary, that is in Kerala, and the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, that is in the state of Tamil Nadu, and it lies on the foothills of the Western Ghats. It is transferred by the rivers like Kabini, the Lakshman Tirath, and the Nagarhole River. Kabini River, we know, is a tributary of the Kaveri River. The Lakshman Tirath River is also a tributary of the Kaveri. And this Nagarhole River flows it into the Kabini River. And the Kabini River ultimately flows into the Kaveri River. Now discussing the type of vegetation. So it includes the tropical moist deciduous forests. They dominate here, and it is rich riparian vegetation along the rivers and streams. So this Nagarhole National Park, it has many different streams, many different rivers such as Kabini, Lakshman Tiras, and Nagarhole rivers. And the national park is getting its name from this Nagarhole river. Therefore, it along the rivers and streams, it has a very high riparian vegetation. The dominant tree species include the teak, rosewood, Indian kino tree, the sandalwood, and the terminalia. Okay, the flagship species of fauna includes the tiger, Asian elephant, and leopard. Other mammals includes the gaur, sambar, cheetal, sloth bear, wild dog, and the barking deer. The birds includes the Malabar trojan, the crested serpent eagle, Indian pitta, and hornbills. Now, it was declared a national park in the year of 1988 and a tiger reserve in year 1999 under Project. So, we have this Nagarhole, both the Nagarhole National Park and the Bandipur National Park. It is also a protected site under the Project Tiger. That is why we also have a Nagarhole Tiger Reserve as well as the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. It is also an important elephant corridor under the Project Elephant. It has very high tiger density among the it has among one of the highest density of tiger population in the country. It is integral for conservation connectivity across the states of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu forest. And it faces the threats. So the important threats includes the habitat fragmentation, the tourism pressure, and the man-animal conflict. Now discussing the important tiger reserves apart from the national parks. So we have discussed about the Nagarhole National Park that includes the Nagarhole Tiger Reserve. We have discussed about the Bandipur National Park that includes the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. But some of the tiger reserve, they are located outside these national parks. So one such is the Bhadra Tiger Reserve. It is located in the Chikmagalur and the Shivamogga districts of Karnataka and lies in the Western Ghats surrounding the Bhadra river and the reservoir. It lies between the Tunga and Bhadra rivers, and we know that Tunga and Bhadra rivers both they merge to form the Tungabhadra river. The Tungabhadra river, it ultimately joins the Krishna river. The Krishna river then flows into the Bay of Bengal. The terrain includes the undulating hills, the river valleys, and the grasslands. The highest point is the Hebegiri. The major water bodies is the Bhadra reservoir that is on the Bhadra river, and it is formed by the Bhadra river, Bhadra dam on the Bhadra river. The type of vegetation includes the tropical moist deciduous forest, semi-evergreen forest, and the dry deciduous patches. The key species include the teak, rosewood, mathi, nandi, bamboo, and the Indian laurel. The flagship species includes, because it is a tiger reserve, it must have tigers, leopards, and the Asian elephants. Other mammals include the gaur, sloth bear, wild dog, sambar, spotted deer, and the barking deer. The birds include the emerald dove, the Malabar trojan, and the paradise flycatcher. The reptiles include the king cobra and in the Indian rock python. So, the species of the venomous as well as the non-venomous snakes are found in the area. And it is noted for the high biodiversity and healthy predator-prey ratio. It was declared a tiger reserve in the year 1998, one of the Karnataka's earliest tiger reserve. It is notable for India's first successful village relocation project and is source of the Bhadra River, that is a tributary of the Tungabhadra river system. So Tiger Reserve is getting its name for being the source of the Bhadra River. It is recognized for the ecotourism and the conservation success, and it is critical habitat within the Western Ghats biodiversity hotspot. Now, discussing the next tiger reserve, we have the BRT Tiger Reserve. That is Bilgiri Ranganatha Swami Temple Tiger Reserve. Okay, it is situated in the Chamarajnagar district of Karnataka and lies at the confluence of the Eastern and the Western Ghats. So it also lies between the Eastern Ghats as well as the Western Ghats and is named after the Bilgiri Ranganatha Swami Temple. That is the BRT Tiger Reserve that is located atop the hills. It is part of the Bilgiri Rangan Hills that range from 600 to 1800 meters in elevation. The important rivers include the Bhole River and the Palar River, which are the tributaries of the Kaveri River. And it functions as a vital wildlife corridor linking both the Western Ghats as well as the Eastern Ghats. The BRT Tiger Reserve has a dry deciduous forest because it lies at the junction of these Eastern and Western Ghats, and it has moist deciduous forest. The important species of trees includes the Terminalia, the Indian kino, and sandalwood, teak, and bamboo, because sandalwood is found in Eastern Ghats region. The flagship species includes, because it is a tiger reserve, then tiger will be there, elephant, and leopard. Other species include the gaur, sloth bear, wild dog, sambar, barking deer, and four-horned antelope. The reptiles includes the king cobra, because in this part of the country, the king cobra is the flagship reptilian species that is found. And the bird includes the Malabar whistling thrush, the hill manna, and the crested serpent eagle. The significance is that it was declared a tiger reserve in the year 2011 under Project Tiger. It is a key ecological bridge between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. So it lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats and provides a connectivity, or it provides a bridge or corridor between these two regions. It is inhabited by the Solega tribal community. So the tribal community, the name is very important. The temple of Bilgiri Ranganatha Swami makes it culturally significant. So it has a cultural significance as well. It faces pressure from the human settlements, agriculture, and the tourism because of the pilgrimage tourism mainly. Now, discussing the important elephant reserves in the area. So, Karnataka, we know, is a state having the highest number of elephants population in the country. So, we have the Mysore Elephant Reserve, a large area. It spreads across the districts of Mysore, Chamarajanagar, and the parts of the Mandya in Karnataka. It falls under Project Elephant Network in the southern India, and it includes the protected area of the Bandipur Tiger Reserve, the Nagarhole National Park, and the adjacent forest division. So it is a huge elephant reserve. It lies in the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve in the Western Ghats. The terrain includes the undulating hills, the dense forest, river valleys, and grasslands. The major rivers includes the Kabini River, the Moyar River, the Nugu River, and the Nagarhole River, which we have discussed that the Kabini River is a tributary of the Kaveri. The Moyar River is a tributary of the Bhavani River, and Bhavani River ultimately is a tributary of the Kaveri River. The Nagarhole River is also a tributary of Kabini River, and Kabini River is a tributary of the Kaveri River. The type of vegetation, it is dominated by the tropical moist and dry deciduous forest, and the major tree species include the teak, rosewood, terminalia, bamboo, and sandalwood. And it has abundant fodder species which is suitable for the large herbivores. So if large herbivores are there, if a good and we know that elephant is also a large herbivore species. So the flagship species here is the Asian elephant, and it is a key population zone. This entire large area is a key population zone for the Asian elephant population. Also, it is home to the tigers, leopards, gaur, sloth bear, and dhole. The birds include the hornbills, eagles, peafowls, and woodpeckers. And the amphibians and reptilian species are also many endemic reptilian as well as amphibian species are found in the area. It is recognized as one of the most important elephant habitats in India under the Project Elephant. So it is one of the most important elephant population area in the country, crucial for elephant migration corridors across the state of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. It helps in maintaining genetic diversity because it's such a large area. It provides a corridor. It provides a corridor for the elephant population to pass from one region to another region. That is why it helps in maintaining the genetic diversity in the elephant population across the entire Nilgiri landscape. And the Nilgiri landscape spreads across the three states, that is Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. It faces challenges like human elephant conflict, the habitat fragmentation, and encroachment. Now discussing the next elephant reserve, that is the Dandeli Elephant Reserve. It is located in the Uttar Kannada district, and it is spread across the Western Ghats, primarily covering the Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary and part of the Anshi National Park, that is now a part of the Kali Tiger Reserve. The major rivers that is flowing through this area that we have seen in the case of Anshi National Park as well. The major river is the Kali River. Okay, Kali River flows through the Anshi National Park and the Kali Tiger Reserve, which was also earlier known as the Anshi Dandeli Tiger Reserve, and with its tributaries like Kaneri, the Nagazira, and the Vajranala. And it is known for the heavy rainfall. So this Kali River ultimately flows into the Arabian Sea. Because it is a very high rainfall rich region, so it has tropical moist deciduous forest and semi-evergreen forest and evergreen patches. The tree species include the teak, terminalia, eucalyptus, the bamboo rosewood, and the flagship species of animals includes the Asian elephant. And other mammals includes the tigers because it is also a tiger reserve, that is the Kali Tiger Reserve, the black panther, the leopard, gaur, sloth bear. It is rich in bird life. The bird species includes the hornbills, the kingfishers, and the Malabar pied hornbill. The significance is that it was declared under the Project Elephant to conserve the viable elephant population of the Western Ghats. So it is a part of the Project Elephant, and it forms a part of the Western Ghats elephant range, supporting the migration as well as the genetic exchange in the of the migration of the elephant population. It plays a critical role in the ecological connectivity with the adjoining protected areas like the Bhimgad Wildlife Sanctuary and the Goa's Forest and the Kali Tiger Reserve that is located adjacent to it. It the threats that the region faces includes the hydropower development, deforestation, and human-elephant conflict. This deforestation is ultimately leading to the human-elephant uh, conflict or the human-wildlife conflict. Now, after discussing the important biosphere reserve, the national park, the tiger reserve, as well as the elephant reserve, after discussing all the protected regions, the protected areas, the protected sites in the state of Karnataka, now let's discuss the heritage sites that are in the state of Karnataka. So, Karnataka, we have mainly four UNESCO World Heritage Site, one natural and three cultural. So, the natural includes the Western Ghats Natural World Heritage Site, but this Western Ghats is actually spread across six states in the country. So it is not solely located in the state of Karnataka. Now, the location of this Western Ghats Natural Heritage Site, it stretches along the western edge of the Deccan Plateau through six Indian states, that is Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Goa, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. It runs parallel to western coast from the Tapti River in the north to the Kanyakumari in the south. So these Western Ghats, it runs parallel to the western coast of India, and it starts from the Tapti River in the north and till the Kanyakumari in the south. The geographical features, it has an elevation of around 500 meters to 2600 meters. The highest elevation is the highest peak is Anamudi in Kerala. The major rivers that originate from the Western Ghats include the Godavari River, the Krishna River, the Kaveri, the Periyar, the Bharatpuzha, and the Tungabhadra River. It includes numerous valleys, waterfalls, Shola grassland, and the lateritic plateaus. And most importantly, it divides the Konkan Malabar coast from the Deccan Plateau. So, in the map of the country, we have Konkan coast and the Malabar coast on the western side. And this coast, this western Ghats, it separates these coasts, the Konkan coast and the Malabar coast from the Deccan Plateau. Now, the type of vegetation in the region includes the tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen moist deciduous kind of vegetation. It has high rainfall. The high rainfall supports the dense forest and high species richness because it is biodiversity hotspot. It is a biodiversity hotspot. So it is one of the 8 hottest hotspots of biodiversity globally. So in the Conservation International, it maintains a list of the biodiversity hotspots across the world. And out of all these biodiversity hotspots, there are 8 such regions in the world that are the hottest. That is, they have the most biodiversity, and the Western Ghats is one such hottest biodiversity hotspot. And it has over 7,400 species of plants are there, out of which 1,500 are endemic. The dominant trees include the Hopia, Culinia, Mesua, Chasium. The fauna includes the tigers, the Asian elephant, the Gaur, Nilgiri tar, the lion-tailed macaque. So all the different fauna species that we have discussed till now, because all the protected areas were ultimately linked to the Western Ghats landscape. So the species that were found in these protected areas are ultimately the species that are found in the Western Ghats landscape. So it has high endemism of amphibians, reptiles, and butterflies. It has over 500 bird species. The important bird species including the Nilgiri flycatcher, the Malabar greyhorn, hornbill. It was designated the UNESCO Natural World Heritage Site in the year 2012, and it includes 39 protected sites, including 20 in Kerala, 5 in Tamil Nadu, 10 in Karnataka, and 4 in Maharashtra. And it is critical. The ecosystem services include the climate regulation, regulating the monsoon patterns, and the watershed protection in the entire region. So, because it is a home, or it is the many of the rivers, they originate in the Western Ghats, so it is also important for the watershed protection, or the water security in the entire southern part of the country. So it supports millions of people through water supply, agriculture, and forest sources, and has home to the numerous tribal communities. So all the tribal communities or the tribal groups that are living in these protected areas of the state of Karnataka, of the state of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. So all of them which are living in the protected areas in the Western Ghats are also the important tribal communities of the Western Ghats. Now, after the natural World Heritage sites, now we have 3 cultural UNESCO World Heritage sites in the state of Karnataka. First is the group of monuments at Hampi. Okay. So Hampi was the site, or that it was the last capital of the last great Hindu kingdom of the Vijayanagara. So Hampi was the capital of the Vijayanagara Empire. Okay. It's fabulously rich princes between the Dravidian temples. So it is famous for the Dravidian temples and palaces which won the admiration of the travelers between 14th and 16th centuries. It was conquered by the Deccan Muslim Confederacy in the year 1565, which marks the ending of the Vijayanagar Empire. The city was pillaged over the period of 6 months before it was ultimately abandoned. And now the UNESCO has identified it as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The second site includes the group of monuments at Pattadakkal. Pattadakkal in Karnataka, it represents a high point on the art which is in the 7th and 8th century under the Chalukya dynasty. So the Pattadakkal, the monuments, they were made by the Chalukyans, and it has an impressive series of it is so these group of monuments includes the 9 Hindu temples as well as a Jain sanctuary, and it is one of the masterpiece of the group stands out is the temple of Virupaksha. So the Virupaksha temple is the most important. The Virupaksha temple in the Pattadakkal is one of the most important in these group of monuments. It was built in the 8th century, that is in the year 740 AD, by Queen Lok Mahadevi to commemorate her husband's victory over the kings from the south. So it was built by the Chalukyas, the Virupaksha temple. Now, the last important heritage site is the sacred ensembles of the Hoysalas. So, as the name is suggesting, it is by the Hoysala dynasty, and it particularly includes three different important sites. That's important, what I would say, the temples. It includes the Hoysala style temple complexes structured between the 12th and 13th century in the present state of Karnataka, namely the Chanaksha temple in Belur, the Hoysalareshwara temple in the Halebeedu, and the Keshava temple in the Somnathpur. So these are the three important temples, that is Chanakeshwara temple, the Hoysaleshwara temple, and the Keshava temple in the Somnathpura. So these are the three sacred ensembles of the Hoysalas. So with this, we have discussed all the important sites, that is the important protected areas, the important heritage sites in the state of Karnataka. In the next session, we will be discussing the important sites, the important cultural sites, the environmental sites, the protected sites in the state of